Okay. And how about your name?
My name is Diane.
Diane, nice to meet you.
Can we introduce you?
Oh, Diane. Happy to be here. Home temple is Yakima, Washington.
Left arrow spur.
Isn't it because it's 20 degrees there and it's
Yep. Should be ready.
yeah.
I guess that's
Because I drove the hills.
Did you want to? Makawao Dharma Family Service. I'm Sharon. I'll be your MC once again. We have a friend that has visited us this morning from Washington.
Good morning.
You're Mark. Okay. Well, good morning and welcome.
And thank you, Dharma School families, for coming this morning. Anybody else listening? Yeah? Okay, thank you. We'll begin our service with the Danati Sarana that will sing both in Pali and English, and the words are to be found on the script.
Maybe.
I don't have a script. So.
Or maybe they won't.
Okay, there we go. Please rise.
Yeah, sorry. Give us a second. We're going to hand out plastic sheets now.
Please rise for the singing of it, and the words should be memorized already.
But just so you know, it's live streaming, so it's
Uh-oh.
can't
We better turn it off.
turn it off. Thank you. Not sure why. Just pretend.
Everybody got one? Okay.
Okay, here we go. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. No.
Please be seated. We'll now sing the Basho with Amida. And this will be followed by quiet meditation.
Namo Amida Butsu. I recite Amida's name with deep joy and gratitude. I gasho with Amida, trees and grasses and flowers, all grown in great compassion. This light shines throughout the world. I gasho with Amida. Flowers bloom and flowers fall. From the sea sprout new flowers. This is the truth unchanging. I gasho with Amida. Springtime brings the Let's see if this will work. Let's sit quietly together for a few moments. So just relax and get comfortable. If you are able, please sit forward in your seat and place both feet flat on the ground. Now, sit up straight and align your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes and just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in, you feel energy filling your body. And as you breathe out, any stress or worries in your mind just fade away. Just breathe. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation. Namanda, Vitsanamanda, Vitsanamanda, Vitsanamanda. Namo.
Okay. We are now having offering of incense and offertory.
pitching.
It's on. It's coming on now.
What's coming up now? The
Oh, you can only see the bottom part. That's not good.
Okay.
Yep. Should be. Ah, that's the second. So this is the shorter version. Is this working?
Yeah, it's more information now.
Oh, it's got the others. Can't see the slides anymore. Okay, sorry.
Okay,
We'll run the memorials next time.
next week. Oh, next week. Third Sunday. No, that's sculpture. Next Sunday sculpture. So maybe third Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope.
Very close.
Split screen. So for everybody for the young people in the audience, if you work in advertising or television production, it's like this every day. It's just the way it is. Okay, so I need to go to display. Choose this one.
You got something just came up.
What's coming up?
Going back to the screensaver. There you go.
Ta-da. Yep.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's live streaming the slides up. At least you guys have something to look at.
All right. We'll now recite, oops,
The golden chain of love.
ready? The what? There's something on the stool. That's okay.
Everybody can hear me anyway.
All right. Ready, begin. I am a lady that I needed with this golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are with myself. I will try to think pure beautiful thoughts, to say pure beautiful words, and to do pure beautiful deeds, knowing that what I do now depends not only on my happiness or my happiness, but also that of others. May every link in Anita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amitabha.
For our visitor, Mark, it's not like this every Sunday.
It's okay if it is.
Actually, it is like this every day.
We don't want you to have that experience that we're like this every Sunday. No, we're not.
We try.
Okay. All right. What's next? Oh, birthdays. Okay, oops.
Oh, there's a guy.
Oh, Gata.
Ah, your screen is not showing that. Hang on.
We have to stand by Gata. Hold on. Maybe just hold your seats. Please rise and we're able to sing the Gata Namo Amitabha. The words are there. Words are on the screen. It's a video too.
All right, we have names up there. On the first Sunday of each month, we celebrate birthdays. Here's a list of birthdays we know about, and if your birthday is this month, please come up to the front. All right, and the first one is, I don't know who she is.
You can't hide it.
I don't know who she is. Okay, the next one is Emily De Jesus, Marcy, Ventura,
Come on down.
Doris, Mark, Jean, Nishida, not here today, shucks. Okay, Robert Okuni, Kei Nishikawa, that's not related, Lois, no. Sadao Aoyagi, Bart Peterson, Christy Vale, Karen Maeda, Valerie Jones, Harold Makimoto, Fred Wong, Maren Thomas, okay? If you have any relatives up here that's on the list, please do come up and represent them. Okay? Joanne.
Or just come and grab a cupcake.
Just come up and grab a cupcake.
18. Very good. Sorry, I can't serve you alcohol, but.
Anybody else? Stephanie? Marion, Thomas, Mommy. There's representatives. That's okay, Mommy.
We have extra
We
ones.
have enough brownies for the whole Kosaka family.
A lot of practice.
You're okay, you're okay, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
Not
let's,
that we have Mr. Lee, Dr. Lee,
Dr.
also
Lee.
birthday. So we have to add his name on. Okay, see all the good people, you have to Marty Feather. We're all Aquarius, right? Aquarius.
okay, let's sing happy birthday then.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. Okay, make a wish and blow the candle. Oh, it doesn't go out. Did we give Tyrus a trick one? Actually, I have some of those, but
Alright, next. Okay. Alright, so we got birthdays. And next is children's drama story time.
okay, everybody, you gotta come up here to see the slides. got something?
Okay. Live from Makawao, it's Children's Dharma. It's Children's Dharma story time, starring Barkley the dog, and Lucy the ladybug, and only the other way, sounds right there. And Baby Dog. Okay. Yeehaw! Aloha kako. Aloha for everybody. Ohio gozaimasu. And mahalo for coming today. We are truly grateful that you're here. Yes, thank you so much for joining us today. It's wonderful that you could be here. Mahalo nui loa, thank you very much. We have a great story for you today. It's one of Sensei's favorites. Today's story is The Yellow Bus by Lauren Long. There once was a bright yellow bus who spent her days driving. Every morning they climbed in. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, giggle, giggle-patter. The yellow bus carried them from one important place to another. And they filled her with joy. One day, a new driver came and drove the yellow bus along unfamiliar roads. Every morning they climbed in. Shuffle clunk, creak, creak clunk. The yellow bus carried them from one important place to another. And they filled her with joy. After a long time, someone new came and drove the yellow bus into the city. She parked her in a quiet spot, walked away, and never returned. Nobody climbed in. The yellow bus didn't drive from one important place to another. No pitter-patter, giggles, shuffles, creaks, or clunks. The yellow bus was empty. Until one cold night, they climbed in. Rustle bump, brr, brr bump, and huddled together. The yellow bus didn't carry them from one important place to another. Yet every night, with hushed noises and soft voices, they climbed in. And they filled her with joy. Early one morning, a truck arrived and towed the yellow bus through the city, across a bridge, into the country, along rolling hills, and down onto a farm nestled deep in a valley. The truck driver parked her at the bottom of the field on the bank of the river and drove away. But just as the yellow bus was missing the pitter-patters, giggles, shuffles, clumps, rustles, and bumps, they climbed in. Clip-clop, clip-clop, ma. The yellow bus didn't carry them from one important place to another. And still, they filled her with joy. From her spot in the field, on the farm, in the valley, below rolling hills and beside the river, the yellow bus could hear booming noises nearby. It reminded her of the sounds of the city, of large trucks and heavy machinery. Then, all at once, the loud noises stopped. Soon the farmer came and gathered them together and took them away. No more clips and clops and ma. The farm was quiet, and so was the yellow bus. Gradually, from around the bend, the river began to swell and rise. And rise, and rise, and rise. The yellow bus was alone until they swam in. Swish, swoosh, swish, swoosh, glub, glub, swoosh. The yellow bus didn't carry them from one important place to another. They drifted in and out and all around her. And they filled her with joy. The end. And the book continues, can't see the slides. The book continues with a note from the author talking about what inspired him to write this book. And the book is dedicated for Tracy. Okay, and that was the story, The Yellow Bus by Lauren. Hey, oh, you're making a funny face at Sensei. That's okay, Sensei can make that face too. I wish I had a camera turned around this way. Okay, where, sorry, you distracted since I lost my place. Oh, yeah, wasn't that a great story? I loved how everything kept changing, but the yellow bus was able to be useful the whole time. Well, that's right, and with each change, and each time she helped people, animals, birds, and fish, they filled her with joy. The yellow bus was always filled with joy because she accepted each change just as it is. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, just remember, oops. Just remember, kids. Put the bucket on backwards, turn your hand around. Okay, be good.
Not too much. Not too much.
Okay, get out of here. Okay. Oh, that's the slide, sorry. Be good, but not too much. Okay.
Okay, Dharma school.
Okay, well, you guys have it easy. I'm facing a tough room here. Oh, I have a present for you. Hang on.
Where's Mama? Where's Mama?
Maybe that day when she drops and you're too heavy, you're going to say, uh-oh.
This is a present for you. And it's from Orange. Thank you. This is Uncle Mitch. He said he wanted to give that to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Uncle Mitch. Okay, time for Dharma school. So all the children under the age of 11 get to follow Auntie Sharon and Auntie Karen, and the rest of you are trapped in here with me for the next 20 minutes. So this is Dharma school for the rest of us. When I was growing up, I was always jealous when I hit middle school and I couldn't go to Dharma school because it's more fun. Come on, you get to color Amita's face and do all kinds of fun stuff. And if you have to sit for the adult talk. Okay, so anyway, so I'm going to try to keep it interesting, but I will say, it's your funeral.
I thought that was funny, come on, laugh. So I'd just like to talk a little bit about understanding and planning a Honganji funeral. We had a funeral service yesterday. It was a private, family-only kind of funeral. And this is the traditional set, the traditional adornments for a funeral. And I realized yesterday that most people probably don't have a chance to actually, see the altar, adorned in this way. So here's your chance to check it out. First, what do you notice that's different than what we normally have on a Sunday? So this is a formal, religious ceremony. I think most of you have seen me dressed in my formal robes, which I have in my office, but given the technical difficulties, it was too hard to do a quick change. So, but think about it, right? So what do you notice? Anybody? Raise your hand. We'll make this more interactive.
White then.
Yes, white flowers. So you see we've got, the basic color scheme is white or silver. And again, this is Japanese tradition. White is the color of mourning. It's the color associated with death. So when a person dies, traditionally, the family would wash the body and then dress it in a white undergarment. Interestingly enough, what they do is they reverse the way that the folds are. So this is right over left. And this means I'm alive. If you go the other way, left over right, So if you see my collar doing this, it means I'm dead. And so the Japanese ghost, which if you've seen Japanese ghost movies, they're always dressed in that white undergarment. It's to prepare them for the journey to the other side. And they also put this little triangle thing on their head. I've never quite got the full story of that one. But if you see something, and their hands used like this, and Japanese ghosts, you cannot see the feet. So if you see like this, all dressed in white, reverse collar, triangle thing here, and you can't see their feet, you just met a real Japanese obake. Yes, so exactly. So the color scheme is white. You'll also see, right now, I'll explain this black box here. So the urn containing the white ashes, and we talk about white ashes a lot. So the cremated remains of the person is placed on this table. If you're interested in the details, this is what they call an urn spray. So the urn, it's a flower base, which you can order from the florist. You put the urn on top of it. You will also see that we have the kakocho, so the little purple book, which is the death records of all of your departed loved ones and honored ancestors. Symbolically, right, it's our connection going back multiple generations. And then I don't have a photograph because I thought that was kind of creepy. I was going to put my own picture up there. But you would normally have a funeral portrait, right? And again, we don't think about these things, right? So raise your hand if you have your funeral portrait ready to go. Right? And you tell your children, when I die, I want this as my funeral portrait. Nobody, because we're Americans. But we don't want to think about these things. It's considered morbid. The Buddhists focus on reality, which is, you will reach the end of life. It's considered morbid. Oh, you Honganji guys are always talking about death. Always talking about death. Which is true, because it is the most important thing. So in Japan, this would be a very formal portrait. Okay, so you put on a suit. If you're a man, you put on a suit, necktie, the whole bit. And in Japan, you never show your teeth. So the smile is always kind of. And you don't want to have big American grinny smile like yeah. So it's kind of. Now here in Hawaii, of course, pretty much anything goes. My absolute favorite one was the gentleman who passed. Right? He's got his favorite baseball cap on. He's got his favorite beer, pushing it toward the camera like an advertisement or like this. And he's got this big, huge grin on his face, like yeah. And everybody who came to that funeral, it was a big funeral too. Everybody who came to the funeral was like, that is exactly how I remembered him. Exactly how. And the family too was kind of like, yeah, that was his favorite, his favorite beer, his favorite cat. And then other ones, the family is scrambling because how many people have photographs? I mean, physical photographs and stuff. It's all digital now. So a person passes away, you might lose access to the cloud. And so suddenly you got a picture from 10 years ago, and it's a group shot when they were traveling. So, you know, luckily this minister, I have Photoshop skills, so I can crop things and retouch them. But again, think about it. You know, how many of us are ready to say, here's my funeral portrait? And yet, from a Buddhist perspective, this is precisely what we should be doing. It's precisely what we should be doing. Americans are like, oh no, I'm not going to worry about that. It'll be okay. And we spend billions of dollars on shampoos and skin creams and stuff to pretend that we're not getting older, we're not approaching death. So, one thing to do, go home. If you had to pick a funeral portrait, what would it be? And if you don't have one, I tell you what, I'll set up a photo shoot because I know how to shoot portraits. I have a good lens and a good camera. We could do it here. Just come to the altar and we'll do, there you go, annual funeral portrait day. It's like the kids, right? They go to school, right? You get little pictures. We'll send these out to your family. Dear son and daughter, here's my funeral portrait, just in case. So, you know, oops, again, I can't see the slides from there. Okay. So we're in this thing. So a funeral, Honganji funerals, like most funerals, right? It consists of ritual and a time for reflection and a time for remembrance. In the end, it's about reconnection. It's about rededication. So, what about ritual? So the late Reverend Arthur Kaufman taught me, you know, ritual is what Honganji priests do when the family members, right, are overcome with sadness and they don't know what else to do. So ritual, so chanting, it creates the time and the place and the opportunity to be sad, to cry, you know, to say our goodbyes, to hold a person's hand, to touch their face, say, I love you, thank you for being part of my life. And that's the purpose of ritual. So typically we do the invocation Sanbujo, which you hear, you know, in formal situations. It's one of the more difficult pieces because it actually goes back to the 5th century, and thus it's not written in Western music. Right? It's not the 8 bars, it's a 12-tone system. And you get these really weird, like half flats and half sharps and all kinds of strange things going on. But it's really quite pretty. It's really quite pretty. The origin of the ritual is in fact the priest goes in front of the altar and is calling for the Buddhas to come and join us. So Amida Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and the Buddhas of the 10 quarters, please come and join us. And you know, we're throwing flowers in welcome. And so the little pieces of paper that we throw around every once in a while, that's where that comes from. So it's actually, it goes back to the 5th century, it goes back to China. It's one of the oldest things that we do. And then I will dedicate the service as a formal dedication. I present the Buddha's name. In the Honganji system, it's not called a kaimyo, it's actually called a homyo. So it's a Dharma name. It's not the priest, the disciple's name. And so, for example, my Buddhist name is Shaku. Everybody has that. Shaku means disciple of the Buddha. So when you receive your Dharma name, you are declaring you are a disciple of the Buddha. Honganji tradition, if you have a Japanese name with kanjis, we try to take one kanji from your Japanese name and then match it up with a kanji pair that shows up in the sutras so that your Buddhist name becomes very significant. It's your name, but also scripture. And then we chant the Shoshinga. It's a very it's the funeral version, basically. It's quite flat. It's not as fancy as some of the other ones. And we also sing. It's really quite beautiful. But here we do a very shortened version of it. In Japan, if I was doing the form, and we're trained in this. Every minister you meet in Hawaii has been trained how to do this very formal funeral service, and the chanting is amazing. I love it. It's great. But I never had a chance to use it. So for example, the Nembutsu part, right? So usually we just do straight na, ma, da, bu. Right? This one is known as the crying Nembutsu. So it's a na, mi, da.
goes on for like 45 minutes. So it's a little bit too long. It's quite beautiful. One of these days, I'm going to bring a ritualist over here, someone who's trained in how to do it, and we'll show you some of these really fancy chants. The challenge is you actually have to practice, how to do these things. And then I read the letter on white ashes, which traditionally you read it in Japanese first, and it's going to look something like this because it has its own box. And in Japan, you don't get to use a microphone. So they tell you have to learn how to do this really loud. So you get the box, you hold it over your head.
それ人間の不祥なるそうつらつら感ずるにおおよそ儚き者はこの世の四畜中幻のごとくなる一度なり
And it goes on like that for another 3 minutes, and then we close with Anakashiko, Anakashiko, which we translate as humbly and respectfully, but it actually means like we're not worthy, which I thought was really funny. So the funeral services that I like to do, I usually don't do the whole Japanese part, but I think it is important, that people understand this letter and why we read this and why we read it. So let me read the letter on white ashes. In deeply contemplating the transient nature of life, nothing is more fleeting than our journey through this world. It is as an all too short travel. Has anyone lived 10,000 years? Life swiftly passes, and how many have lived for even 100 years? Whether I go before others or whether others go before me, whether it is to be today or whether it is to be tomorrow, who is to know? Those who are sent off before us are as countless as the fragile drops of dew. Though in the morning we may be radiant with health, in the evening we may be white ashes. When the winds of impermanence blow, our eyes are closed forever. As we breathe our last breath, our face loses its color. Our loved ones gather in lament, but to no avail. The body is then carried out to an open field and disappears in smoke which smolders through the night, leaving only white ashes. Is there any expression for such a sad plight? This fragile nature of human existence underlies both the young and old, and we should therefore all the sooner turn our hearts to the seemingly important matter of true and real life. We should recite the numbers upon having completely entrusted all that we are to the Buddha Amida. In gratitude, we acknowledge these words humbly and respectfully. Humbly and respectfully. Now in Japan, the funeral service ends right there. There's no Dharma talk. But even in Japan, people don't understand the original Japanese because it's from the 15th century. So it's kind of like Old English, right? You kind of get it, but it sounds so different. And even in Japan, reading the letter on white ashes is considered kind of morbid, kind of depressing, because it is a reminder, right, of this truth of impermanence. That all things that arise from causes and conditions, right, they do reach an end point. Like it or not, born human, we are going to reach the end of life. That's just the way it goes. And so yes, that could be considered, a frightening prospect. But in Jodo Shinshu, right, when you settle your birth into the Pure Land, that means when you die, you go to this place called the Pure Land, you become a Buddha, right, and you return in oneness as part of Namo Amida Butsu to this world, to show everybody else how to get to the Pure Land. And that's it. So I try to give a message, but that's not what people are expecting from Buddhism. And so what does the truth of impermanence really mean? If you take this letter to heart, right, if you can truly accept the reality as it is,
No, eventually, you do reach the end of life. That's just how it goes. But if you settle your birth in the Pure Land, you don't have to worry about what happens after you die. All you have to worry about is what happens before you die. And so it's not about the afterlife. Oh, you Jodo Shinchu Honganji guy, it's always about the afterlife. No. Shinran's teaching is about before death. Before you die, what are you going to do? And then just to continue on, right? So the Japanese tradition is to read the personal history. So Keri Yukio Kiyohara was born the second son of Akira Kiyohara and Ruby Kiyohara. Born and raised in Los Angeles, older brother, younger sister, went 32nd Street Elementary School, John Burroughs Junior High School, John Marshall Senior High School, flunked out of UCLA his first year, eventually graduates from the University of Southern California with a bachelor's degree, a BA in East Asian Languages and Cultures, and then goes on, does this, meets Mimi, gets married, falls in love, gets married, have a baby, their son, they have 2 grandchildren. He did this, he did that, he did this, and then he died. The end. So in Japanese tradition, you don't give a eulogy. You don't, talk about what a great person this was. So the American idea, like celebration of life, it is a celebration of life. But the Jodo Shinshu thing is to say, please, the important part is to recognize the reality of the truth of impermanence and how it applies to you. So that's why we read these things. But you think about it, right? What the most important part is going to the social hall and sharing food and talking. And I see this every time I do funerals. Right? That here, this is the formal, the formal ritual. Right? And it does force you to think, to remember, right, the person who passed. And then you get to go up there, you have some food, you get to talk to your cousins who you only get to see at funerals. And sometimes funerals are the occasion when family members who have not been, talking to each other for a while, they do come back together. So is this because I'm such an amazing religious person? Or is it not Wamitabutsu? Is this Amida Buddha working in someone's life? But the one thing about personal history is, again, how many of you have written up your personal history? Trust me, your son doesn't know what elementary school you went to. Not that it's important, but in the Japanese sense of things, it's very important, which is why they do it. The other reason, just very practical, personal history, maybe 5 minutes. The longest eulogy or celebration of life that I've ever experienced was 45 minutes. The person came up, had no notes, like, he didn't have a piece of paper, wasn't looking at his phone or anything, but just talked about this person. And it was the most powerful message I've ever seen. It's like, wow, I should just chant one line of the sutra and sit down and let this guy do it. But again, every situation is different. Every situation is different. So we did the Letter of White Ashes. So again, my thing about this one is just you take your funeral portrait now, or decide which one you want. Okay? Write out your personal history, right? Date of birth, where you were born, to whom, your siblings, education, work, marriage, children, retirement, death. Why? Because it's like a funeral service. It forces you to confront the reality of the truth of impermanence. The key message I try to give to people, during a funeral service or during my message, is that religion gets kind of a bad reputation nowadays. Oh, religion. But the original meaning of religion comes from Latin, right? Relihere, to reconnect, to retie things together, and to reconnect. So think about that, right? If you come to a funeral service, if I read the Letter on White Ashes, you take it to heart, you realize, that there is this love and these feelings that you have for this person who's passed. We know physically they're gone, but spiritually and emotionally, that connection is still there. So, but the reality of death forces us to wake up to, right? Whether it is to be today, whether it is to be tomorrow. Who is to know? Who is to know? We just don't know. Which is not to say you should be afraid of dying at any time, but rather be prepared for it. Some of you may be familiar with the samurai, the Bushido code, right? Which says, be prepared to die every day. so that before, when a warrior goes into battle, they will say, today is a good day to die. Because without that attitude, you're going to lose the battle. The samurai guys are pretty kind of scary. Because what it does, right, if you reconnect with yourself, if you reconnect with others, the other people in your family, if you reconnect with your feelings you have for the person who passed away, you awaken, or you reawaken, because it forces us, right, the funeral rituals, they force us to acknowledge our grief and sorrow. We're Japanese, most of us are Japanese Americans, we don't cry in public. It's just a Japanese thing. Whereas Americans, Koreans, and Korean funerals are great. You can hire professional crying people. If you ever seen video of Korean funerals, there's just ladies just completely breaking down. You can hire people to do that. Why? It gives everybody else permission to cry. Right? It's like, well, she's totally lost it. So you can let your tears go down too. In Japan, everyone's sitting very formal. And you don't show emotion. It's just a cultural thing. And Americans, well, I've seen the whole range of emotional responses. But when you truly accept the reality of death, the truth of impermanence, that it's coming for you too. Right? You begin to truly live, fully mindful of the impermanence of all things. You rejoice in the interdependence of all things, people, and forms of life. And so, when you receive the faith of Shinjin, Shinran describes it as Mugishin, so the mind of no doubt, right? The heart of absolute conviction, that you're liberated, you're free to live this unrepeatable life to the fullest. You don't have to worry about what happens when you die. Right? You can do everything to benefit others. You can find joy and gratitude no matter what changes may come. I was struck by the yellow bus story. I thought it was really cute. But also, on an adult level, it's a very profound story. That it's by being useful that you're filled with joy. So no matter what changes happen, right, if you're useful to other people, other forms of life, you're filled with joy. You're filled with joy. Oops, sorry, I talked longer than I thought. Any questions about funerals? Honganji funerals. This is your best chance to ask questions about funerals or anything you see set up on the altar. My favorite one, my closing joke was just going to be, you see the plastic box up on top of the urn spray? Right? Because usually urns are going to be made out of the brass or whatever, that doesn't corrode. This is, quote unquote, the alternative container. Right? So if you don't want to pay $5,000 or whatever it is to get a nice brass urn, they give you the cremated remains in a plastic bag that comes up to very high impact plastic. It's a very impressive piece of plastic. But this is the alternative container, which again, I just thought that was funny. Because usually, right, I put on white gloves because you don't want to get the fingerprints on the, on it. But quite literally, this is just plastic. And it's like, oh, uncle, sorry. No, it's empty. It comes in a plastic bag, sealed up with the metal thing, that the identification thing. So I just wanted to raise this because if you decide you want to have your ashes scattered, right, when you make the arrangements with the mortuary, right, you say direct to cremation, alternative container, and then your family member will receive a plastic box. They give you a nice carrying bag too. But you take the plastic bag out, and that's the ashes that you use if you're in the ocean or beach or whatever it is. So now you can tell all your friends you've seen the alternative container. Any questions? If no questions, okay, you don't have to be shy. This is the death question part. You can ask anything. No? Okay. So let's just let loose. Let's go ahead and conclude the service. Let's read the Metta Sutta together. Can you see them?
Yes.
May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me.
May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Thank you. Please rise if you're able, and we'll sing Ondok-san, followed by the next song. If something needs to be done, then do it, and do it wholeheartedly. The wisdom of the Buddha and the Dhammapada, this is verse 313. Okay, sorry, we're over time. So we're going to skip over the gratitude meditation. Please be seated. Just say mahalo, that'd be good. And next Sunday, just to put this one up real quick, next Sunday is Scout Sunday, so the Scouts will be running a service. And they have also PAC 18 has invited us to join the Blue and Gold Banquet. This is their annual awards ceremony and kind of like a graduation ceremony for the young Scouts moving into the next steps. It's usually, very nice, so please come out and thank every Scout and Scout family that you can find for helping out the temple. And then February 15th should be the third Sunday, family service. And February 22, right now, it's scheduled for Buddha Memorial Service, Nihon He, Nirvana Day. I'm actually have to be away on that Sunday, so it's going to be a lay service. I'm trying to line up a guest speaker or a pre-recorded message, but we'll see how it goes. So that's the schedule for February. And if there's no other announcements, everyone's welcome to enjoy refreshments and talk story in this ocean. So thank you very much for your patience with the technology not cooperating today. Well, I mean,